What's going on, you guys? So, Terence Bud Crawford seems like he had quite a bit to say. Now, I'm sure these was questions that was asked of him, but yeah, it was interesting to see what he thinks about these particular questions. Excuse my voice. My voice is still going out, but we got some shit to talk about. Wait till some more people get in the building. Errol Spence Jr. has also been back in action. You know, he's training with Marcus Brown. Marcus Brown is training with Derrick James now. So we're going to see how Marcus Brown looks under Derrick James. You know, Derrick James is a good coach. He may have the right uh, style for Marcus Brown. You know, Marcus Brown seems like a guy that could do a lot more than what he does, and he just I don't know what's up with Marcus Brown. He seemed like he could really make some shit happen, but I don't know. But yeah, he's training with Errol Spence now. Errol Spence is back to work, trying to get back in the groove of things. And Terence Bud Crawford been having quite a bit to say. What's up, Tribe? I see you in the building. Salute to my man WJ Luckett. I see you. Kofi Universe, salute. Yeah, Supreme Confidence, Freddie G. Supreme Confidence by Bud Crawford. Supreme Confidence. Supreme. And I'm going to read to you what I found. Now, the actual interview is on the DAZN app, I believe. I don't have the DAZN app. You know what I'm saying? I think they doing a disservice to boxing by having that type of interview on that app like that. You know what I'm saying? Because most people just not gonna, unless they already got the DAZN for like the year. Most people not just really buying DAZN right now because they're not really offering too much. You know, for fans to, you know, they're just not really offering too much right now. So yeah, the interview is I guess is on DAZN boxing, but we got some quotes and you know I got an article of some things he said about Canelo Alvarez. And it's pretty interesting. And it's the same shit I said. You know, it's like these guys, I mean, do they listen to Bushido boxing or something? I mean, I said the same shit. Like Terence Crawford, he never tested positive. You know what I'm saying? You can never say nothing about this guy's performances. It's being tarnished by paid accusations and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Silence King? I see you in the building. What's going on? But Terence Crawford says in regards to Canelo Alvarez, from according to Michael Benson, but he did say it. Um, Never had any doubts, any questions about why I'm performing the way I'm performing. I don't have any trouble saying it's in the meat. What meat you eating? But Canelo's great. So basically, when he was saying that, he was talking about himself in third person. So that's how you know Bud Crawford is really feeling himself. When these guys talk about themselves in third person, then you already know what it is. Salute to Yabudua Abere. He says, Bushido, I watched it on his own boxing. I love that TBC spoke the truth on Canelo. Knowing that he cheated can always be questioned. Yep, see? My man right here actually seen it for himself. And matter of fact, while we on him and Canelo, because I'm going to save the Spence one for last. But while we on Canelo, Crawford says this. Wait. Of course, he talked about Canelo Plant. I think he was a little wrong there. He said Plant stands right in front of him. Plant don't stand in front of you. But yeah, he was wrong there. Oh, he also said that Spence needs to stay away from Canelo Alvarez, and he said that he could beat all these guys. Wait, here we go. He says in regards to Canelo and Spence, he says I don't think that would be a good fight for Spence because he's right there for Canelo. And it says when asked about Spence moving up to fight Canelo, he says Canelo's the bigger, stronger fighter, bigger puncher. For Spence to be there in front of him trying to knock down the front door, you're giving him everything he wants, and him meaning Canelo. Then he says, quote, who, me? Yeah, I'll beat any of these fighters. When asked if he can beat Canelo. So, yeah, they asked if Bud could beat Canelo. He said, I'll beat all these dudes. Sometimes I can't believe that I'm the best fighter in the world. I'm the best. I really believe it. I'd be like, damn, I'm Terence Crawford. Oh, this is what I've been waiting for from Bud Crawford. You know, I see Bernie out here, you know, being a hype man. This is what I've been wanting to see from these guys. You know what I'm saying? This is the energy that I've been wanting to see from Bud Crawford. If you the best, you let the world know it. He says the way that Errol looked in his last fight against Danny Garcia, he likely wouldn't do well. No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't do well against Canelo. I think Spence needs to really, get back to the groove of things before we even start talking about Spence and Canelo again. Hit that like button for your boy. And then he talks about how plan is tailor made for Canelo, but I don't necessarily agree with that. Um, Caleb Plant moves a lot. He moves a lot. But he says Canelo is pound for pound number one. He said, yeah, if he becomes undisputed and beats all the champions, of course, said Crawford when asked if he'll be comfortable with Canelo being called the pound for pound number one if he successfully defeats Plant on November 6th. So Crawford don't feel too comfortable with Canelo being considered number one pound for pound right now. But if Canelo becomes undisputed, etc., then he'll be like, okay. One thing you wait, okay, here it says, quote, one thing you could too understand. What the one thing you could too understand. See, you're gonna have me out here sounding crazy. You're gonna have me out here sounding. It says one thing you could too understand. Like, all right, here we go. One thing you need to understand about Terence Crawford, said Crawford, speaking in third person. See, when these dudes be speaking in third person, that's when they feeling themselves and they know they the shit. I mean, we see Floyd do it all the time. Who else be doing that third person shit? There's quite a few guys that be doing speaking in third person. They was all really good too. All right. He never had any doubts or any questions about why I'm performing the way I'm performing in regards to himself. He's speaking about himself in third person. So he basically said there's never been any doubts, any controversy, nothing about the way he's been performing in the ring. And he says, so there will never be anything like that with Terence Crawford, and that I'll carry on for the rest of his career. It's weird reading this because this is him talking about himself in third person. Let me read it again. It says, so there will never be anything like that with Terence Crawford as far as him testing positive, and that I'll carry on for the rest of his career. That I'll carry on for the rest of. Come on, man. The edit in here, the writer here, he's definitely moving on with his life because he's still allowed to fight. And he's talking about Canelo, who tested positive for clenbuterol in 2018. No one is ever going to say anything about that about me. I don't even like taking vitamins. So I don't have the trouble of saying it's in the meat. What meat you eating? Nah, but Canelo's great. So yeah, that's what Bud said in regards to Canelo Alvarez. I mean, yeah, honestly. And that's one of the main reasons why I got Bud over Canelo, just because Terence Crawford never tested positive. I mean, he's about as consistent as a fighter that we've seen in a long time. Just dominates everybody. He's very consistent. It don't matter who you put in front of him. He's going to always show up and show out. So, yeah, that's the reason why I got him over Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez tested positive and shit, man. There's controversy there. I can't just put a guy. I can't put a guy as the best fighter in the sport that has so many things that go into his favor, failed drug tests, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Canelo's a hell of a fighter, but it's just a lot of controversy there. And that's just my opinion. Salute, Wayne Hennessy. I see you in the building. Let me give you a wrench, man. Hold up. There's a few guys I wanted to give a wrench. Give some wrenches out. But yeah, that's what Bud had to say, man. What do you guys think? I mean, he said he could be any of these dudes. Crawford seems to be really amped up. Really amped up about the whole Porter fight. Really just really feeling himself, really coming out, being a little less more vocal, more outspoken. He's just really telling you how he feels. And this is what I've been wanting to see from Bud for a while. You tell these motherfuckers that you the best. You let them know. You don't got to be this humble guy. They don't like that, bro. You got to tell them, like, I'm the best fighter in the world. I'm the best boxer in the world. Salute to Bleak M. I see you in the building. Yeah, it's all love, Wayne Hennessy. Even though we don't always agree, man, you've been holding your boy Bushido down for a while, so you definitely get a wrench. I meant to give you one last time. Hold up, let me see. Boom. Oh, and I gotta give my man Drizzy KO one. Boom. Oh, do Trav got one? I know Trav be, but Trav be holding me down too. So, bam, there. Got three swords out. I call them katanas. Once I get big enough, I'm going to change the emoji to a katana blade. So when these assholes come in here, you just cut them down. Drizzy KO says, I can't see Sean Porter punking Crawford at all. Man, I can't either, bro. But it's going to be a really good fight. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a great fucking fight, you guys. I mean, Sean Porter's gonna bring out all stops. This dude is in the mountains training in seclusion. You heard the respect, and I don't mind it, but it also gives me the hint that they really, really respect this guy. They really, really know what they're up against, and they may not know if they can really beat him, but they go give it their all, though. That's one thing we know about the Porters. Sean Porter's gonna go up in there and give it his all. He's gonna come up in there in shape. He's gonna come up in there with a solid game plan, and it's up to Crawford to stop him. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for the blade. Ain't no thing, Drizzy KO, man. You be holding your boy down for a while, man. Salute to Chef Red for the $5 super chat. He says Crawford versus Canelo would be a mega fight, no belt needed for pound for pound supremacy. Hey, me personally, bro, I think that skill for skill, Bud beats Canelo, bro. And I know that may be controversial, but if Terence Crawford was a middleweight fighter, let's say he was like 5'10", you may want to stretch his arms out a little longer. You may not. It depends. But if he was a middleweight fighter, like a 5'10" middleweight fighter, he'll beat the shit out of Canelo, bro. He'll beat up Canelo, and it'll be a tough fight because Canelo got good defense. But I think Crawford I just think he can do more. He can just do more. Canelo's good at what he's doing, especially when guys are standing in front of him. But if you put him and Crawford in the same weight class, I think Crawford beats him. I think Bud beats him. Canelo needed a lot of help in a lot of his fights, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, rehydrations and stipulations and shit like that. So for me to just say he'll beat Crawford, like, well, what's the catch? Do he need a catch weight? Do he need Bud to is there a rehydration clause? Is there this? Is there that? So yeah, there's those questions when we're dealing with Canelo Alvarez. But that would be a mega fight. But I think Bud's just a little too small. You know what I'm saying? He's just a little too small. Hit him over the head with the that's right. But they don't tend to come in here too often. Except for that last live I did. Was it with Jamel? Yeah, the last live I did with Jamel Charlo yesterday. I had a few guys come in here with some bullshit. But if that's just their opinion. I don't get too many crazy trolls like that. Yep. Marvin Terrell. Yeah. Yep. That's the vibe I got too. They were trying to tame him a bit so he won't, you know what I'm saying? They trying to, make it so it won't be so bad. Like, in other words, he was telling Porter was telling him, hey man, we were friends, man. Don't do me too bad. You know what I'm saying? If you wanted to look at it from that way. What's up, G5 Jeff TV? Salute. He says, my boy, gosh, Shido, what's good? My voice is all fucking today, you guys. I can't even flow. Y'all go subscribe to my boy, G5 Jeff TV. Yeah, Terence Crawford been talking that shit, man. He been talking shit, and this is what I've been wanting from Bud Crawford. And then he was talking about Spence as well. Let's see. Oh, there's always been a comparison in this fight. Will Bud outdo Errol Spence? Salute to my man D Luckett. I see you in the building. He says, will Crawford outdo Spence's performance against Porter? And this is what Bud had to say. He says, I don't feel like our fights. No, this ain't that. My bad. Hold up. Wrong one. Here we go. Terence Crawford was asked, he wants to outshine Spence win versus Porter. He says, who is he to outshine? I'm tired of everybody trying to compare me to somebody that's only had 2 belts in his whole career. He's talented, but there's levels. Wow. So Bud said that in regards to Errol, the big fish, Spence. See, your favorite YouTubers didn't come out with videos talking about this stuff. So it's up to your boy Bushido to come out here and tell you what Terence Crawford said. because the Zone Boxing got that shit hidden on the app. The other bigger channels whose videos really get pushed out, they're not talking about this. But this is what Bud said. This is allegedly what he said on, he's cool with Akim Barak, the Zone Boxing Show. One of the guys earlier on the stream said that he heard Bud say these things. So yeah, he said he only had 2 belts in his whole career. And I mean, shit. I mean, is it not facts? I mean, this may rub a lot of guys, especially the Spence fans, the wrong way. But hey, Spence got to fire back. Maybe this should get Spence fired up. Spence shouldn't take this as a personal shot. He should take this as motivation to really get back to work, buckle down, and really get prepared to deal with Terence Crawford. This is what this should do for Spence. It should motivate him to get back into the groove of things. And with Terence Crawford being into the current spotlight in the welterweight division right now, this could make their fight bigger. You know what I'm saying? And all that shit with Bud saying that he bad Spence, I think he's just saying that shit. Because after watching Fury versus Wilder, boxing needs another big fight. And that's Spence-Crawford. You know what I'm saying? So hopefully after this Porter fight and Buzz get past Porter, we could and Spence fights whoever he's gonna fight on this comeback, and then we can get something going on later on in 2022. It's a lot longer than one would have imagined, but Errol Spence needs to answer these call outs and this stuff that Bud is talking. Spence gonna have to address it. You know what I'm saying? Because Bud is really being a boogeyman out here in these streets. He's saying he'll whoop Canelo. He said he'll whoop everybody. And that he's Kumite Crawford. You could throw him in the octagon, he can handle himself. You throw him in the kickboxing ring, he can handle himself. You throw him in a Kumite, he's handling himself. That's what he said. So he's ready for any and everybody. Yep, Bud out here saying he only got 2 belts his whole career. Wow. That's actually something he probably could have used years ago on him. Like, man, you only had 2 belts, bro. You only had 1 belt, bro. How many belts did I have? How many championships have I won? How many title fights have I been in? You know what I'm saying? Like, Bud could have really cooked him if Bud was, on that savage mode back then. But I do like what Team Crawford is doing. I like how Bernie is out there talking his shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the hype man, that shit is dope. You know what I'm saying? That's what Crawford needs. The guy that's gonna be that mouthpiece for him. Some guys just ain't got that mouth like that. But Bernie do. And Bernie's doing a good job at it. You know what I'm saying? And Bud just continue doing his work. And that's just what it is, people. But yeah, he also said, where is it at? He said, in regards to Spence's and him not getting a fight with each other, he says, I don't feel like our fight should have took that long. He's gotten 2 injuries since. Who knows if Errol Spence will ever be the same fighter that he once was when he was considered the boogeyman of the division? That's what we've been saying, you guys. We don't know if Spence will be the same. This is what I've been saying. Playing around, bullshitting around. Now he has 2 injuries, significant injuries, since this whole saga started with him and Bud. And now we don't even know if he's the same fighter for real, for real. We don't even know at all. He has 2 significant injuries, the car crash and then a detached retina, bro. Terence Crawford hasn't had no significant. The only injury I remember Bud having is before the Jeff Horn fight where he hurt his hand or some shit. Yeah, Freddie G. Bud ain't lying, man. I mean, it's true. Like I said, your favorite YouTuber, I didn't see nobody else talking about this. Maybe Blue Blood had come out with a video on it. He likes shock value stuff. But I didn't see nobody else really talking about this shit. You know what I'm saying? And for good reason, because it's all facts. And it makes Spence look like he's just really been ducking this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Bleak M says, it was funny. Blue Blood was trying to ask Bud questions, but only got one in. Bud knows Blue always diss him. He didn't give him too much convo. Yeah. Blue Blood should have just been like, Blue Blood should have just stepped back from that. Because it looks like for me, it's like some sucker shit. So, how you gonna talk about me, but then come over here and try to, Nah, bro, that's not what. But see, Bud was probably just gave him a little something because he didn't want to be an asshole to the guy. Because Blue Blood don't seem like a bad person, but he was really pushing this narrative that Crawford was this and Crawford was that, and he has a huge platform on YouTube, and his word is almost like gospel to a lot of these guys. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, if it was me, I would even went over. I would have just took the L on getting the interview or even being in the media scrum because I knew what I was doing, and it'll look like on some sucker shit for me to try to weasel my way over there for a little soundbite. You know what I'm saying? I'll have to pull him to the side and talk to him off camera, like, look, man, blah 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 blah. But you know, a guy with such a big platform, you have to be really careful. You know what I'm saying? Because out of a sudden, he's there next to Terence Crawford after all that shit he been talking. All these guys he's been turning against Crawford, and I don't think he's done it on purpose. But a lot of the Spence fans, um, really just was just finding any type of way to downplay Terence Crawford at that time. And now look, they've been quiet. See how things change, you guys? See, see how? Oh, Jay Grant, he gave him credit. Yeah, he gonna have to, bro. After that open workout boy had, my homeboy was there, pound for pound, Sports Entertainment. Y'all go subscribe to my boy Pound for Pound. He said Terence Crawford was amazing. He said I can see why you big on Bud Bushido. I'm like, yeah, dude. Yeah, he's a machine, bro. Yeah, I mean, because the Spence fans, um, Mr. Cheesehead. Actually, I gotta give you a wrench too. Hold up. Even though we don't agree on everything, but it's all good. You know what I'm saying? You hold your boy down for a long time. Hold up. Let me get the yeah, yeah, I seen that though with Blue Blood try to get a clip from Bud. But Bud know who he is. That's right, y'all. Y'all see my man D Luckett. Hit that like button, man. We gotta get these likes up. You know, I don't really hoop and holler about likes too much, but it's important. It's really important. The like button and shit is important. Dislike is important too. You know, they YouTube wants to see activity. They want to see comments. They want to see interaction. They want to see likes and shit. So hit that like button for your boy, man, so I can get up to the top to counter some of the bullshit that we be seeing to some of these bigger channels. Because they're not talking about this shit, bro. They're not talking about how Bud, said, Errol Spence may not be the same guy and he only had two belts and I whoop all these guys. See, they're not talking about that shit, man. So it's up to your boy Bushido to come out here and at least put out a live or a video speaking it. Not even Boxing Ego, I don't think, came out with shit. And he like to talk about every damn thing all day long. And he ain't talking about it either, man. That's why I say these guys got something against Bud and shit. Instead of just saying, he said this. Okay, Spence, what you go through? You know what I'm saying? We got to get that fight manifested still. I think it's still going to happen. I think if Spence comes back and looks good, I think we can still get that fight. But will he? You know what I'm saying? Will he? Will he even be able to make 147 comfortably? Yes, Bleak M. That circuit was fucking ridiculous, bro. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And he didn't even drink water till like the end, bro. Ridiculous, man. Dude's a machine, man. Peter Frescobar, salute, bro. He says after November 20, they go see why Bud is that dude. Salute. Yes. Yeah, they go see, man. And he out here talking shit like he's the best, too. That's what I've been waiting for. That's what I've been waiting for. That's right, Mr. Cheesehead. He's as disciplined as they come. That's why we ain't got to worry about we ain't got to worry about Bud not showing up in shape and shit, man. That's what you really kind of look for in a fighter. That's what I've been looking for since Floyd left. I'm like, man, who is the next guy who's that guy I know that's go always hold it down no matter what? Man, I was fucking with AB, and I'm still an AB fan. I don't, I'm always gonna be. Let me just say this for the guys who may say Bushido's fanboy and shit like that, which they don't say it too often, but I'm only a fan of like 5 guys: Wilder, Bud, Lomachenko, Inoue, and Erislandy Lara. And you can probably throw AB at 6. Those are my guys. Okay, Loma became my guy most recently. Inoue became my guy because he's just a bad motherfucker. Wilder's my guy because he's the heavyweight champ in America. He's the man. And Terence Crawford's that guy because, I mean, I think he's probably the best fighter in boxing. So those are my guys. And Lara's always been one of my favorite fighters. He always will be, even though he's at the tail end of his career. Edis Laney Lara is one of my favorite fighters too. But other than that, everybody else is just everybody everywhere else. Yeah, AB got locked up again, man. Mr. Cheesehead locked up again for some warrants that he had. He was in Kentucky. What was he doing in Kentucky? I mean, have you been in Kentucky? Oh my God, there's literally nothing out there but like hills and trees. There's nothing in Kentucky at all. It's crazy. What were you doing out there, AB? Man, I like AB, man. You know what I'm saying? But things turned out the way it turned out for him. That's just all I can say at this point. I'm not one of these guys that like to really kick dudes when they down or going through a rough patch. I'm not one of those dudes. I always wish the best for Broner, and I want to see him do well. He has he seems like he has a good heart, but I don't know, man. He's too damn ghetto. He too damn ghetto, man. You know what I'm saying? He's still the same guy. He aged and shit, but he's still the same guy that he was years ago for the most part, man. Still getting in trouble with stupid shit. Still not handling his business. You know what I'm saying? Just come on, AB. Yeah, they don't like Bud because they don't give him interviews. I mean, yeah, I mean, I do think Crawford should talk to the brothers, though. I really do. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, your core fan base are going to be the people that look like you. Whether you like that statement or not, that's just the reality of boxing. You know what I'm saying? Your core fan base are going to be people that look like you. And I do think Bud should talk to at least some of the guys. Come holler at your boy Bushido. You know what I'm saying? Give me an interview. That'd be great. You know what I'm saying? That'd be like a blessing for my channel, for the platform, for you guys, for everything. You know what I'm saying? Like give a guy like Bushido who got less than 10,000 subs an exclusive interview. That'd be great. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see that being a possibility. You gotta talk to this person, you gotta talk to that person, you gotta contact Julie, this person, that. It's too much. Versus me just inboxing Bomac or even inboxing Jamil Herring, but hey man, or Bernie, like, hey, let me see if we can get Bud on. Oh well, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? That's too much. That's too much. How about you put him on the phone and just put him on speaker for me then? You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't really be that hard, you know what I'm saying, for your supporters that have a platform to, but those guys ain't showing themselves to be supporters. But a supporter for you to get an interview. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like about Wilder too. He'll give the smaller guys, an interview before these other dudes. You know what I'm saying? But I need to link back up with Bernie. Actually, I did an interview with Bernie before he even started his channel, and once he started his channel, I just kind of let him do his thing and shit. But I'm sure I can reach out to them. They actually respond and shit like that. But I like to give them space too. Bomac seems to be really busy with fighters. I'm gonna try to get Jamil Herring on here before his fight with Shakur later on this month. Jamil Herring is probably one of the most accessible fighters out there. He's just really a stand-up guy, Jamil Herring. Honestly, he's a really stand-up dude. Extremely thick skin. This is what I was telling you guys yesterday. These fighters need to have thick skin, and Jamil Herring has thick skin. He received a lot of criticism from that fight with the Jonathan Quindo guy, and he just let it roll right off his chin. You see some of the shit people said to him on Facebook. He just let it roll off the chin. He takes it so easy that they have to apologize to the guy because he's just such a nice dude, man. So I'll probably try to get Jamil Herring. It'll be easier for me to get Jamil Herring, it seems like, versus Bud. You know what I'm saying? There's just, I don't know. But from there, I could probably try to get Bomac if Bomac ain't too busy. But honestly, you guys, the reason why I ain't been doing many interviews is because I'm waiting to get a new camera and shit. I'm looking to get a new camera, 4K camera. I'm not gonna be on camera all the time, but when I do interviews or shit like that, I want to be on camera. So yeah, I'm gonna be looking to do all those things. He says the key to Bud is Bernie. Yeah, I'm gonna have to link up with Bernie, man. Talk to Bernie, see what's been going on. I haven't seen any of his videos. He's probably busy too, man. These guys are busy. They're in wartime mode. So I really don't want to bother him too much. I may have to just send him a message and see what they say, and then go from there. I'll probably get Bernie on here, or go on his channel or something. Um, but yeah, getting Terence Crawford would be pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? Nobody else has really done it. I see he was on some rappers or whoever channel before. I'm like, this dude don't even got. He barely had like 10,000 subs and shit. I'm like, who is this guy? He's not even a boxing guy. Like, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the interview shit. But I'm gonna start doing more of those once I get this camera come in. Salute to Exclusive News Insider. What's going on? Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I agree, Silence King. It is because it's hard to distinguish like who's really with them and who's really against you. I would understand. Like if I was a fighter and I seen all these guys that generally look like me talk to shit, it's like, man, who could I know that's really, should I do this? Talk to this guy? Nah, I ain't gonna fuck with it at all. Yeah, D Lucky, you thinking about going to the Square Hearing fight? You should, man, if you can. You should. Jameer Herring, he's a stand up guy, man. Um, he said that he don't understand what his animosity from Shakur came from. As far as he know, they never had any problems. Jamil just like whatever, man. We go fight. He don't show no emotion as far as like Jamil Herring, somebody type guy that wouldn't even get angry and shit. Shakur was talking shit. He was just sitting there like a soldier with his arms crossed, like okay, okay. I'm actually rooting for him too. I'm rooting for him in that fight. I always like the old dog and the underdog. I'm rooting for Jamil Herring in that fight because I believe that Shakur should have went another route and let Jamil Herring do what he do because I don't think Jamil Herring has that much time left anyway. So he should have let the old dog go get his paydays with Valdez and all these guys, and then Shakur could have just sat back, and kind of waited. But he was a little asshole about the whole situation, and it seemed to turn a lot of fans off. But I still like Shakur Stevenson. I still think he's good, but we'll see, man. He's with that rapper chick, man. You know what I'm saying? We go see. We go see how Shakur performs in that fight. He's eating chicken and shit. We go see. But yeah, man, Bud Crawford is talking that good shit. This is what we wanted from Bud. You know, um, who is Errol Spence to outshine? Who is he to outshine? This is what Bud said. He said, who is this dude that I gotta outshine? And and he knows, his team knows, and we all know that watching this Porter fight, this is a testing gauge to see how Bud really stacks up against the premier boxing champions. That's what this is. This fight is a testing gauge barometer to see where Terence Crawford is. If Terence Crawford stops Sean Porter, oh well shit, he really may be the number one welterweight. If Terence Crawford struggles with Sean Porter, well, he may just be as good as everybody else. If Terence Crawford loses against Sean Porter, well, he was never that good anyway. You know what I'm saying? That's what this story is. That's what this fight is about. Yeah, AB be tripping, bro. He said, "What the hell? You in Kentucky?" Nah, I ain't in Kentucky, man. I rode through there though. You know what I'm saying? I rode through there. I mean, it's a breeze. You sneeze, you right through that motherfucker, and it's not literally after you get out of Louisville. There's nothing there, bro. Literally nothing there in Kentucky. Like that's where Ali was from. Like, bro. Silence King says Bud makes more money, has more belts, and accomplished more in boxing. Has been fighting better. Wait, has been fighters better than Spencer was short again against Porter. Yeah. Yep. This is what they didn't want. Yeah, Spence fans, it's like a civil war, man. Captain America versus Iron Man. This is like a civil war. I like Spence though. You know what I'm saying? I do. But he gonna have to see this guy, man. I seen this shit years ago. I seen this shit years ago, man. Errol Spence didn't want to fight Bud, man. I was like one of the first guys that's really just like, yeah, he don't want to fight, dude. I didn't give him too much benefit of doubt because once he said, well, Sean Porter got a belt, and all this other shit, and why not take the easy road? It's like, okay, yeah, huge red flag. So that, in other words, you don't want to fight, dude. But see, in today's age of boxing, which was left me bewildered at the time, I was totally just, I was confused as to like, wait a minute, this dude did I just hear what I just heard? And fans was co-signing, yeah, yeah, he's gonna fight Sean Porter. You got to go do something else. I'm scratching my head like, why is these guys saying this shit? Where are these people coming from? Why are y'all fucking up this fight? You know what I'm saying? And then bigger communities like the LDBC got upset with Bud because he wouldn't talk to him or something like that, and so then they really start pushing the agenda. And then they really, it just, we all know what happened. Oh man, Mr. Cheesehead, he said it to his face too, and he said it um just like it was nothing wrong with saying it. Like, I don't know. Wait, Mr. Eric Bowden say, wait, hold on. He says, dude, shut the up. Get off Bud Nut. He mad as hell. See, he mad. He ain't got nothing to say. I didn't say this shit, bro. I didn't say this shit, bro. What you mad for, man? Eric? I'm just relaying the message. I told you guys what it is. I've been saying Spence didn't want to fight Crawford. That's obvious. James Toney said it. Roy Jones said it. I mean, motherfuckers go tell you, like, real motherfuckers tell you, like, no, he ain't want to fight dude. He ain't want to fight dude. But motherfuckers like Spence, though. So they're not about to go too hard on him. But he gonna have to see Terence Crawford. He should have been saw him. They saw how great the Wilder Fury shit was. That was fucking great for boxing, man. That whole 3-fight thing, man. The whole 3-fight thing. Salute to Sanctus. I see you in the building. He says, only thing I like about Errol is his set outside of boxing ring. He's suspect as fuck. Yeah, I like Spence, man. You know what I'm saying? Spence seemed like a cool dude, but when it came to Terence Crawford, he didn't really want to deal with the guy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really want to deal with Bud, bro. They both didn't get the Pacquiao fight. They both didn't get the Pacquiao fight. And this Crawford Porter fight, they seem like they're really making it more of a big deal than the Crawford Spence Porter. It seems like it's more of a big deal than even Spence Porter. That's just what it feels like to me. Maybe people are excited to see Bud Crawford in there with Sean Porter. Yep. Spence said that Lions True said Spence said the Horn fight was gonna be tough for Bud, but demolished Horn, then all of a sudden this side of the street. Yeah, bro, that's exactly what happened. That's exactly what happened, bro. All this street stuff came up. Once Bud beat Horn the way he did, they was like, oh hell no. They was like, oh hell no. He is on the wrong side of the street. He's way on the wrong side of the street. Matter of fact, he ain't fought nobody. Who he fought? That's when it started. That's when it started. But fast forward, how many years later? 4 years later now? Crawford's about to be going to a fight with Sean Porter. It's the biggest fight of Terence Crawford's career, really. And it's going to determine if he's the best welterweight, the way I'm getting from it. Because people don't really know if Errol Spence is going to come back as the same guy. He's been back working. Spence is back working. He's training with Marcus Brown for the guys who just came in. That's Marcus Brown in the background. But yeah, Spence is back, trying to get back in the groove of things. He ain't come out saying nothing. He don't really come out and say too much to Bud like that. But I think he gonna eventually have to fight the guy. Because the boxing needed the momentum that Fury Wilder has given it. And now they're gonna be looking for something else. Boxing gonna be looking for the next big fight. the next big fight, and that's Crawford Spence-Crawford. But we still don't know if Spence is gonna be that same guy. We still don't know if Spence is gonna be able to comfortably make 147. He looks to be like he's still kind of slimmed down. So um, I'm trying to be optimistic that this energy from Crawford is will eventually goad Errol Spence into a fight. Because people, he should already know by now. People are going to keep asking him about Errol Spence. They're going to keep asking him about Spence. They're going to keep asking him. The fans came out and said, "Yeah, you chasing." Remember that? The fans came out and said, "Oh, Crawford's chasing Porter. Why he chasing Porter? Like, I mean, yeah, I'm chasing him." It was crazy to me seeing fans say that. It's crazy for me to see fans say that. He's chasing him. He's chasing him. Why is he chasing him? What you mean, why is he chasing him? He's a fucking fighter. He wants to fight. Like, man, boxing fans got super soft, bro. The fans fucked up a lot of these fights, too. The fans fuck up with some of these fights, man. They come out with that shit, and the fighters see this shit, and they be like, yeah, they got my back. I sit back, and, I got some excuses, and, the fans will protect me and shit. Fans got to start protecting the fighters. Because by them protecting Spence, he got lax, got lazy, start, doing extra shit. And now, we don't even know if he's the same guy. If he had been on his shit, if Errol Spence, and I said this before, if Errol Spence fans been on his ass about fighting Crawford, he would have been in the gym like a motherfucker. He probably would have never had no accident. There'd probably be none of this right here. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit. Breaking news. Tyson Fury says Wilder fights took a lot out of him. He probably got one fight left. Yep. Also, speaking of that, while we here, Wilder, I guess Tate Jones said that the reason Wilder wasn't fatigued in the fight, what happened was Fury hit him in the ear and it fucked up his equilibrium and he just never recovered. He never recovered from that knockdown. Of course, he got fatigued eventually, but according to Tate Jones, Wilder said that he wasn't tired. He said he got hit in the ear and he just never got his equilibrium back. So he was pretty much dazed the whole fight. That's why he was looking like he was just. But yeah, that's that. And Tyson Fury also says, "Man, look, I ain't got really nothing left. Those fights took a lot out of me. I'm about to hang him up." You know what I'm saying? So yeah, the Gypsy King might not be around too much longer. I mean, what really left out there for Tyson Fury, honestly? Besides Wilder. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, back to this. Yeah, your favorite YouTuber's not gonna talk about what Bud had to say. They're not gonna come out here and tell you what Bud had to say because it was something that maybe their audience don't want to hear and see that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But they need to keep it even across the board. You gotta tell them what Spence said, and you gotta tell them what Bud said, especially when you got a big platform like that. I don't feel like our fight should have took that long. He got 2 injuries since. Who knows if Errol Spence will be the same fighter? I mean, come on. It shouldn't have took that fucking long, bro. It shouldn't have took. I will stand on that. Errol Spence fans ruined the fight. They did that shit. They gave Spence a false sense of security that, hey, he ain't got to do this, he ain't got to do that. Terence Crawford ain't done nothing. He ain't fought nobody. They did this shit. They did this shit. Because if they had been on Errol Spence's ass, if they had been on his ass about fighting Crawford, he would have been in the gym. He'd have been training. There would have been no Ferrari flipping. There would have been no eye injury. It would have been none of that shit. If y'all had been doing y'all fucking job. Y'all job ain't to protect him. And by y'all protecting him, and now we don't even know if Errol Spence gonna be the same fighter. And now Crawford Porter is looked at as the best fighting welterweight right now. Where the fuck is Keith Thurman at? Me personally, I don't even consider Keith a top, and I like Keith, but I can't consider him a top welterweight no more. I can't. I don't even know if he could beat Virgil Ortiz. I don't even know. He struggled against Riverside Rocky. So what will Virgil Ortiz do to him? We don't know. Keith living off old glory. It's been too long. Old man Pacquiao fought and retired since you fucking fought him in 2019. It's about to be 2022. Keith, what are you gonna do? So Sean Porter stepped up to the plate. Luckily, WBO stepped in to make that fight. I still question as if that fight would have got made if WBO haven't stepped in and mandated it. Guys were saying, "Oh, Terence Crawford's being forced to fight Porter." Remember that narrative? Crawford's being forced to fight Porter. I'm like, what are you guys talking about? That was a smart move by WBO making that fight. Sean Porter and them seemed to be surprised that it happened. Well, they try to spin it on Bud and say, "Well, WBO forcing him to fight because he don't want to fight nobody." Wow, Terry. Wow. Wow. Why you kick me in the nuts, man? He says Bud fans are worse than Canelo. And, bro, that is not true, bro. Take that back, dog. You know that's cap. You just saying that because Spence your guy. You know what I'm saying? Look at Bro Horse. Yep, look at you. I see you, man. Hold up. Did I give you a wrench already? Hold up. Oh my God. He gonna say he said Bud fans are worse than Canelo and Fury fans. Wow, that is cap, bro. You know that's cap, Terry. Hell nah, Bro Horse. That ain't no big facts. You know that ain't no facts, bro. You just that's just your guy's rival. And he talking big shit. So it's your job to be like, hey Spence, man, what you gonna do? What you gonna do, man? He talking shit. He said you only got two belts. He said he don't gotta outshine you. Who is you? And there's levels, and you ain't on it. That's what he said. So it's up to Bro Horse and Terry Smoot to go out there and start pushing the narrative that Spence needs to see this guy. Not, oh, well, this guy didn't do nothing. Not this guy's on the wrong side of the street. Not Bob Arum. No, you need to see this dude. Because Fury Wilder showed us what boxing can really do. Hold on, you guys. All right, my bad. No, but Terry Smoot and Bro Horse, those are my guys, man. They cool, man. They really cool dudes. They Spence guys, man, and I respect them. Why? Because they in the trenches over here, and they don't never waver. You know what I'm saying? So I respect that. He says I'm a fan of Spence and Crawford. The hate for Crawford is unreasonable. Yes, WJ Luckett. I like Spence, bro. You know what I'm saying? I like Spence and Crawford. I think they gotta fight, bro. You know what I'm saying? They gotta fight. That's just what it is. But I feel that Terence Crawford whoops him. I feel that he's the better fighter. I mean, Sean Porter said the same thing. Salute to King David. I see you in the building. Sean Porter said the same shit. YSM Sports Media comes in here hating and says Crawford needs to focus on Porter and Spence needs to focus on getting healthy. No, we didn't want to hear that, man. We was cooking right now. We didn't want to hear that. That's not really what we want to hear. But y'all go subscribe to my boy YSM Sports Media. But we don't want to hear that right now. We on something else right now. You know what I'm saying? We on that Bud smoke and we want that Spence smoke. That's what we on right now. And Bud said he only had two belts that he could whoop all these guys. That's what he said. Where is it at? And he said Canelo Alvarez is you he's not comfortable with Canelo being over him because Canelo Alvarez got meat issues. That's what he said. He said now if Canelo beats Plant and becomes undisputed, then yeah. But right now, Crawford said he's the best fighter in the world. That's what he said. Actually, let me read it again because he's talking big shit. This is what I've been wanting from Bud to just be like, hey man, just come out and tell these motherfuckers I'm the best. If you got a problem with it, come see me. You gotta have that killer edge, that I'm the best mentality, like Michael Jordan had, or Kobe Bryant or something. Oh, he also talked about Canelo, Spence. Wouldn't be wise for Spence to go up to fight Canelo. And this was on the DAZN boxing show, so he was on there with Akin Barak, and they was doing an interview, and they asked him a series of questions, and those were his answers. So in order for you to see this actual interview, you have to be subscribed to DAZN. The subscription is like $100 for a year, then it's $20 a month. But yeah, Terence Crawford believes he could beat almost anyone around his weight class. That's what he said. He says Canelo is the bigger, stronger fighter, bigger puncher. For Spence to be there in front of him, trying to kick the front door down, you're giving Canelo everything he wants. Then he says, who, me? Yeah, I'll beat any of these fighters, Crawford said when asked if he could beat Canelo. Sometimes I can't believe it that I'm the best fighter in the world. I'm the best. I really believe it. I'd be like, damn, I'm Terence Crawford. That don't even sound like Bud. But that's what he said. And that's what he should have been saying. You know what I'm saying? But he seems to be really excited, though. All bullshit aside. He seems to be really excited about the Porter fight. This is something Terence Crawford needed. We need to see Bud in there with somebody like a Porter or Keith. Keith Thurman. We don't know what Keith's going to do. Ugas living his best life. And then there's the young guns like Virgil Ortiz, who's right there, and Jerron Boots Ennis. But I think Ortiz is rated higher. I think he's closer to a title. I'm not sure. Jerron Ennis is going to have a hard time getting work. But Errol Spence Jr. is still getting back to work. He's training with Marcus Brown for the guys who just stopped in. And salute to my man D-Lo 404 Boxing who just came in. Yeah, but Spence, this should motivate Spence. He shouldn't take it personal. His fans shouldn't either. There should be motivation for Spence's get back. There should be motivation for Spence to come out and be like, you know what? I'm going to go show Terence Crawford that I'm the best. That should be his main mission right now. Honestly. Terence Crawford should be Errol Spence's main mission. There's no Pacquiao. I'm kind of glad he's gone off to the sunset. So there's only Crawford and Spence to see each other. If Crawford gets past Porter, I believe he will. I don't know if Spence will hop right into a fight with Crawford. I believe he'll fight anybody else. You know what I'm saying? I believe it. I believe Spence will hop in there with a top guy. You know what I'm saying? After this injury, I believe he will hop in there with a top guy. Who it is, I don't know. But I don't think it'll be a guy like Terence Crawford right away. I think Spence will have to do that fight, see how he looks in that fight, and then we can go from there. He may not be the same guy, though, because they was already saying this in the Danny Garcia fight. Spence fans should have been on his ass, man. Y'all should have been on his ass. But this is the fight that we're getting. Boxing fans seem to be really excited about this matchup. We know what both of these guys bring to a fight. We know both of these guys will come in shape. And we know they both going to come well prepared. Sean Porter's training off in the mountains in seclusion on some Street Fighter shit because he knows what he's up against. Terence Crawford got the Sean Porter clone in camp. It's going to be a really good fight, Crawford Porter. It might even, it's going to be a fucking good fight, dude. I mean, shit. Fury Wilder is probably one of the best. They say that's one of the best fights of all time now and shit like that, right? Crawford Porter may damn near be that just based on paper and what we know about both of these fighters. That could possibly be another one in the same year, within a month later. I mean, Canelo Plant too. We got some really good shit coming up, you guys. Honestly, we really got some really, really intriguing matchups in boxing coming up, and this is the exact momentum that boxing needed. Fury Wilder started it off. Crawford, Canelo Plant is going to get it down the road, and Crawford Porter is going to get it through the finish line, right through that motherfucker. All those are great fights. I can't see this being a boring fight between Crawford and Porter, especially after like the third round when things really start to get going. But yeah, Crawford said he's the best. He said I'm the best. He says I'm gonna show you how great I am. I mean, shit. Where does this energy come from, bud? Nilo 44 says I would hate for Spence to fight Crawford off energy. Based on history, I doubt Boy would want to fight that way unless he feels it will likely not come around again. Yeah, D'Lo, I agree with everything you just said. Yep, because Crawford already said he wants to fight the guy at his best. So Crawford probably won't even be interested in fighting Spence right away until we see how he looks. Because he wants to get credit for a Spence fight, I believe. I believe he wants to get credit for that one. And that'll be a built-in excuse not to give him credit if Spence is not the same guy. Mark Nash said it's going to be one-sided. You said the Crawford Porter is going to be one-sided? It might be. But I don't know. You just never know with Sean Porter. You know, he rises to the occasion and he really shows up for the big fights. There's a few things I see that Porter does better than Bud. Crawford's really good at pivoting and spinning and shit. We gonna see because he was spinning the shit out of Spence. Will he be able to do that to Bud? Who knows? Cod Girl says 413 says Crawford smashing everyone at 147. No one can beat him. Silence King says Spence is going to be scared watching the Crawford versus Porter fight. Man, I'm telling you, man, if Crawford beats him decisively, you know what I'm saying, stops him or some shit like that, that's gonna really, it's gonna do multiple things. It may make them like really hesitant, but at the same time, there's gonna be a huge demand. There's gonna be a demand from the fans for Spence to see this guy. I'm talking about not just us fans. I'm talking about like celebrity fight fans, the Fat Joes, the Snoop Dogs, and all those people go start talking. You know what I'm saying? And once they start talking, then they gonna have to start moving. LL Cool J and all these guys that's boxing fans, they gonna start talking. They not too caught up in this civil war like the fans are, but they gonna start saying shit like, "Hey, Crawford, Spence." They gonna start saying shit. He says, Bushido, why you on what you on and what you been on? What you mean, man? What you mean, man? Nobody else talking about this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying? I wish I can get the sound clips and shit, but you know, it's on the DAZN app and I don't have that. I just don't got it. Then this dude calling people idiots and everything, man. Where my samurais at to cut these dudes down? Who is this guy? Mark Elrin, whatever. I don't know who you are, but the Spence fans are starting to leak in. They really mad. I mean, what are you mad for? Terence Crawford saying what he's supposed to say. Mary agrees, says, if Crawford stops Porter, we're not seeing the Spence fight. Man, might not. That's what I said. There's multiple things that could happen. But it will be a demand for the fight to happen. Because now the Wilder Fury, what that did was really just bring that that the eyes and the excitement back to boxing. So now fight fans or casual fight fans gonna be looking for the next big boxing fight. They're gonna see Crawford Porter being promoted. Boxing seems to be really just excited. They're gonna really be pushing the Crawford Porter fight after the Canelo Plant fight. You know what I'm saying? I mean, then there's gonna be a demand for Crawford to fight Spence. There's gonna be a demand for that fight. But will Spence take the fight? Will Spence be right? You know what I'm saying? That's the question. But of course, Crawford has to successfully get past Sean Porter. We must not overlook. I think Crawford's going to be the first guy to stop Sean, me personally. But we got to respect Sean and give him a chance in this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he's always the first guy. His name should be Sean Porter the first. Because he's always the first guy on the front lines ready to go to war. He's always the first guy to fight all these guys. I mean, honestly, he was being from off jump. It seemed like he was almost being conditioned to be a gatekeeper. You know, and I don't really like using that term with a guy like Sean, but I mean that's kind of what it's gonna look like it's gonna be. He fought everybody already. Unless he moves up, he's gonna be a gatekeeper at 147 if he loses to Bud. He's gonna essentially be a gatekeeper. There's not gonna be no demand for Spence Porter too if Crawford beats Porter. This is a really important fight for Sean Porter. A really important fight for Sean. He has to damn near win this fight. But then again, Sean Porter seems to be, you know what? I got my commentary thing I'm doing. This is just a big legacy fight for me. I'm gonna go out there and give him my all. You know what I'm saying? So I think Sean Porter's legacy is kind of set anyway. Whether he wins or loses this fight, I think Sean Porter's going to be, in the Hall of Fame and all that. I don't know for what, but they'll find something. But he's commentating now, and he got his podcast. He seemed to get his life figured out outside of boxing, after boxing. And this Crawford fight is just a bonus and a notch to add to his excellent resume. But we go see what happens. Terence Crawford came out and said he's the best. He said he's the best. He said that Canelo Alvarez, with him, he don't need no meat. You never could be able to question his performances. Shit like that. That's what Bud was saying. And I'm going to just leave it at that. Hit that like button for your boy on your way up out of here. Thank you guys for stopping in. It's a good time to be a boxing fan right now. Really, really good time. Fury Wilder, Canelo Plant, and Crawford Porter. And then we're going to see what happens in 2022. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.